One of those guys that came back.
Earlier this month and killed himself at the age of 27, he was the idol of millions and a heroin addict whose habit wasn't a secret.
Come as you are, as you were.
Cobain and his band Nirvana had helped put the Seattle sound, grunge music, on the map. He was called the voice of an angry, alienated generation, yet he never could reach the troubled young man inside himself. Cobain had been battling depression and dope for several years. The glare of the spotlight only added to his troubles and deepened his addiction.
Kurt Cobain, when he did his videos, you looked in his eyes and he couldn't even face the camera. He was in pain. And I'm angry about Kurt. This guy didn't have to die.
Steven Tyler recognized that pain all too well. Reflected in Cobain's eyes, Tyler saw the heroin addict that he used to be.
It almost killed me. It almost killed me. I'm telling you, you're looking at a miracle. I'm one of those guys that came back. I might not have. I might have gone the way of everybody else.
Steven Tyler is the lead singer of Aerosmith, now enjoying a second life as one of the most popular hard rock bands in America. The group had a string of hits in the 70s. It also had a reputation as the heaviest drug-using band around. And then the party ended. By 1980, Steven Tyler was heavily addicted to heroin, and so were other members of Aerosmith. Did the heroin use affect your music?
Positively. We broke up because of drugs. It took it all away, and we didn't even see it. Until somebody said, hey man, you don't even have a band anymore.
The one-time rock star soon found himself living in a rundown New York City hotel and buying heroin on the street. Several times Tyler overdosed, but even that didn't stop him from using.
I thought things were okay. I never thought in a million years I was as bad as I was. And that's the thing with drugs. It took me to my knees. It let me see that it could too happen to me. I said it cannot, and it could too, and it did.
It happened to Steven Tyler. It happened to actor River Phoenix. It happened to Kurt Cobain. But it doesn't only happen to the rich and famous. Heroin use is on the rise across America.
Be my guest. You may not survive.
Turning Point will continue after this from our...
Look at Steven Tyler and go, well, hey, so what if the guy was an addict? He's back on top of the world. He made it. I can do the same thing. Addiction is not such a big deal.
Well, if you want to go through the hell that I went through, be my guest. You may not survive, is what I would tell people. You may not make it back.
We're living on the edge.
In 1984, the original band members of Aerosmith reunited. Steven Tyler was still a heroin addict. The band's new manager forced him to get help.
I remember calling up my manager and saying, they're brainwashing me. I was in a rehab. They're brainwashing me. They're making me change. I'm not going to be the same person. Do you want me to be here? I'm not going to be able to write songs.
But Steven was wrong. When he got out of rehab, he began attending Narcotics Anonymous meetings and writing the music that would put Aerosmith back on top of the charts. They recently signed a $30 million record deal, and this time, Steven could truly appreciate it. He's been clean and sober for 8 years.
If there's anything I could say to anybody, don't be afraid to stop. It's not the end of the world, man. You're not going to die.
Everything is my fault.
Kurt Cobain ended his life before he had a chance to find that out. Days before his death, family and friends tried to force him to get help. He entered a drug treatment center on March 28th, but on March 31st, he walked out. On April 8th, his body was found. He left a wife, singer Courtney Love, herself recently arrested for alleged heroin possession, and an 18-month-old daughter. In another part of America, another mother and child touched by...
he feels he's in a unique position to warn a new generation about heroin and hopes by telling his story, he can help save lives. We'll be back with more of Turning Point after this.